So this is Preflight on 3.5 Whiskey Sierra. Fuller's turned the master on, he's dropped the flaps down.
And I'm turning my porch lights off, they get bumped. That switch is right here by the door jamb.
And then he's going to check his master on.
Yep.
Stall warning horn must work.
And then the gear horn, sometimes it doesn't beat, you hear it click.
Alright, so gear horn is the green button.
It's working, it'll make the boop boop in flight, but sometimes on the ground you hear it clicking.
Okay, so that means it's working.
When we get in the air and start flying, maybe we'll force it to trigger by pulling the power back, but without having the gear down. Just so you can actually hear it. It is obnoxious. And then I hook the flaps to 20 so I can do the walk around. You can visually check the fuel. I don't really trust my fuel gauges. And I'll run the fuel pump for maybe 20 or 30 seconds.
Wow.
Just to lube it up. And then we'll do our exterior pre-flight. Top.
So that's for the gear.
So you should never need this, but if for some reason the system completely runs out of fluid, if you can reach over and we'll show you where the gear reservoir is inside the airplane. I've never had to use it in 800 and something hours on Whiskey Sour.
But you can check the level before you start?
Yep, and it's not part of the pre-flight, and I honestly don't check it, but once out of every 15 flights. That first thing I do is, you've seen one of these before.
Yes, it's very handy.
And this is not on the pre-flight POH.
No, it's not.
But I check the contactors just to make sure they click. There's no nest in here. I've never had nests, but I've read reports about
that contactor?
Yep. That turns off the gear, the yellow and green light.
Right.
There's one for the nose. Once all three have pressure, that's when you will have your yellow light.
All right.
Armpits and shoulders, that's the lingo with the retract. Armpits are right here. I look for hydraulic leak. Every 40 years they say these seals have to be redone. So I just look visually to look for pink stuff.
Okay.
And then shoulders, I'm sorry, those were shoulders. These are armpits. If you look at this hole, inside this trapezoidal panel, there's two, what are those things? Swivel assemblies. And they're about the tip big as my pinky finger, half the size of my pinky, but they have internal seals. I've had those fail. They'll leak hydraulic fluid in here and it'll come out this weep hole.
Okay, so if we see hydraulic fluid here, then we need to...
That doesn't mean you have to cancel the flight. It's just reportable that, hey, you got a hydraulic leak. And you wouldn't have to cancel the flight if you see hydraulic fluid on the shoulders. It just means that, hey, Todd needs to know. Oh, one more thing, if you look carefully, see that contactor right there? Because if that goes bad, you'll think your gear is not locked. So there's actually 6 contactors.
Oh.
2 back here. You can't check those. Don't worry about checking those.
So I'm just here making sure none of this stuff's like falling out.
Yeah, you know, I don't even crawl back. I just look at it. I look at it from where I'm laying back here. If you see this orange part like hanging out, I can tell you your gear is going to make you think that it's not locked when it'll give you a false gear up warning. That's your storm scope antenna. Keeping that clean is a good idea. That usually never gets boogered up. And then just looking at the 3 antennas, you know, I've never had a problem, but you never know if a wash guide.
All right.
These brass things are barrels.
Okay.
On both sides. You don't have to do anything to them. If you want to just touch them and make sure they're tight. Just visually it's fine. Just make sure they're there.
Make sure the connection is there, right?
Right there.
Okay.
The nose swings into that. Just make sure it's there.
Right there.
Yeah, you don't have to touch it like you're doing. But that
thing
thing
is there. Okay.
That's brand new. 30 years ago, I just look at it and you see these new bolts right there.
Yep.
And there.
Yep.
You don't have to get up underneath it like we're doing. You just look at it for where you hear my voice from the front.
Right.
Just make sure it doesn't look all screwed up. There's your semi-damper. I just look at it to make sure it's not looking weird.
Yeah, and it hadn't come loose.
And then here's the lower collar. Bad ground handling can break this. I just look at it, make sure that tab is sitting in the front middle.
Okay.
And it's not like twisted over.
Right. So just like any of the other pre-restart Cessnas, one fuel drain under each tank.
Now this has got some trash in it. And I've had some trash in this. John Watt looked at it and said it's not. You can usually work this a little bit. So if I've got trash, I'll usually do 2 of these cups. And this is what I trust more than my fuel gauges.
How much per tank?
37.5 usable. And you get that hooked underneath and you pull up here by your right hand. And you still want to fill this one almost all the way up.
Oh, so you're going to the bottom cup?
Yep, right in the bottom cup.
And why do you say you want to fill it all the way up?
Well, it's engine. That's the one that's going to affect you at takeoff. So I put that tube right in here. This is the 2 wing ones. You use the rod.
Right.
And the one by the engine is just much easier to get the tube into the main cavity.
Okay.
And just look at it. Light. And the oil level is just past it.
Okay.
You do not need to add oil.
So anything past 4 is good.
Yeah, if you see the oil, if you see 4, you're still probably okay. If you're going on a flight longer than an hour, you can add a quart.
Now on a longer flight, would you bring it up to 6?
No.
Okay.
Heck no. That's too much oil. You'll be on the belly at 6.
Okay. Checking what tank?
That little screw right there.
Yeah.
I've had that loose and dripping hydraulic fluid.
Oh.
When I went into Wilgrove many years ago.
Is it not safety wired?
Nope.
The rest of this is kind of like any other Cessna, right?
Yeah.
Dents, bolts, thread
Yeah.
showing, cables,
You got it.
inspection plates.
I can usually reach up there and feel that washer and bolt.
Yeah, it's not the skin. Well, I guess I could. Most mosquitoes can.
I said washer and bolt, I meant nut and bolt. I always check the trim tab one too.
Oh yeah. Inspection plate right there. Got a alternator belt up front.
I do this, Ron, because if you stick these in the airplane, you don't realize it, you get all your stuff wet if you sit down. I don't know if you can see that nut way at the top. Nut. My finger blocking it.
Yeah.
They used to put an orange, what's that stuff? Loctite?
Right. Yeah.
Loctite is now burned off after 3 years, but if you look and see oil weeping out, it's time for me to get my governor overhauled.
Okay.
And it's ugly because when it starts leaking, you'll start to have engine oil coming back on your cow. And you can still fly. It's not a problem, but it's just the person who does not know, they may think, oh, I got to ground the airplane.
Right.
That's the most common spot for oil leaks in this airplane. Just one finger is solid.
That's your 24 volt
Yep.
access.
Yeah, for ground, they need to get to the APU. And that'll do anything here but just